Good morning, traders. We're back Tuesday today, looking at the Brent oil. Last time we were here was a week ago, and I was telling you about this really interesting situation that's developing on the Brent oil, and I was also defining that very specific move, and I was referring to that move as the flying sixer, which is usually when we count the individual legs within a consolidation, and we try to time the breakout. We usually do that by spotting the sixth move, right? The sixth leg. Let me show you here what I'm talking about. We had first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then boom, this is the sixth, right? So the sixth move has actually started to break through that 63.07, and we felt that that was a good moment to jump in, right? And we were aiming at two targets. We had the first one is the first resistance. We know this is actually the big one, right? This is actually the primary one, 65.15. And we were also looking at a more of an ambitious target at 67.57, which kind of represents the previous highs, both of them, but it's also a Fibonacci projection to 123.6% of the fifth leg, which is the previous opposite move, and that should be the base for a projection analysis, right? So the flying sixer, guys, pretty much done its job, which was to reach at least 161.8, right? The minimum, which is roughly around here. It also, of course, touched base beautifully on that 65.15. I actually want to show you something quite, quite concerning. I mean, if we were planning to keep having this bullish position, just take like 50% off, as profit, but keep going all the way to 67. We're now actually considering closing the position entirely. We haven't done that yet, but I want to show you why we feel that might be a wise move on our part. Even though it looks like price has been basically breaking right now, right? 65.15 seems to be like an easy breakthrough. Mostly I'm talking about yesterday, of course. But I want to show you how it looks like from the weekly perspective. I'm going to zoom in as much as possible. And here you can actually begin to, to contemplate on a particular scenario, which price basically just comes back down nice and easy, right? Until it drops below 65.15 just to end up that week, leaving a second spike here, just as it did last week, right? And that should be concerning, because that could be a strong sign for a downside reversal. Price could begin either correction or a full downside move back to the lower section here, right? We're talking about the levels of 60 and below, right? So at this point, what I'm trying to say here, I think the bottom line is the risk outweighs the return, right? The reward, if you will. The risk at this point is probably bigger than the reward. And even though we're probably going to leave a small portion to carry on with this bullish position, we're just going to reduce the exposure to minimum. We're going to keep a close eye on this one, right? Because we're not sure this breakout is genuine. We're not sure this is a real breakout. We feel this might be just kind of a local bullish trap, if you will, and that's going to be a fake out. All right, so I think you got the picture. Next step, of course, will be to push this stop loss level from 61.50 all the way to 63. All right, we're going to place it right here, still below the 200-day moving average. We're going to use that for protection, and of course the 65.15. That's the first line of protection here, right? All right, guys, that's about that for the UK oil. Definitely interesting. We'll come back to follow up. So there you go. See you on the next video. Take care.